Hey guys, today's video is about decision tree. We'll go through the basic idea in this video, but decision tree is a broad topic, so I'll make separate videos to introduce specific idea. To begin with, decision tree is a classifier that uses a tree of logical tests to label unseen data. To illustrate, logical tests partition data into finer and finer sets. Say, we have this decision tree, and our goal is to predict if a person is going to buy an iPad. The yellow boxes on the top and the middle are nodes, which represent a test on an attribute. For example, the age on the top is a test or a question. If a person is below 22 years old, then he or she will be assigned to the left group, and if a person is 30 years old, he or she will be in the middle group. Second, each branch represents an outcome of a test. As we said before, if a person is below 22 years old, he or she will be in the left group, and this left group is essentially an outcome of the age test. Then, the leaf node is a decision and holds a class label. That is, the blue node and pink yes are two decisions that the model predicts whether a person will buy an iPad or not. Last, the classification process is actually a path from root to leaf. So we always start from the root node, and whenever we answer a question or a test, we move downwards a level. When we reach the leaf node, the model makes a final prediction. For instance, Mary is 23 years old and she has a job. We want to know whether she is going to buy an iPad. The first question is, what is her age? Mary is 23 years old, so she belongs to the middle group. Following the path, the second question is, does she have a job? The answer is yes, so we move downwards and arrive at the leaf node. Therefore, the model predicts Mary will buy an iPad. The next part of our discussion is the pros and cons of decision tree. Decision tree has several advantages, so it's a popular algorithm. For example, it has fast learning speed, and it's interpretable for human because you just follow the path from the root to the leaf. Further, it works with SQL queries. It's fine if you don't understand SQL queries, but basically, the query is like, if a condition is true and another condition is also true, then the target belongs to a certain group. A concrete example would be, if a person is under 22 years old and is a student, then that person will buy a computer, which is the outcome of the prediction. On the other hand, decision tree also has some serious problems. It suffers from the risk of overfitting, and the boundaries between answers are strict. To illustrate, overfitting means the model fits a training data almost perfectly, like it has 95% accuracy on training data. It might sound like a good thing, but in reality, overfitting can lead to poor performance on unseen data. It's because our model learns too much detail and noise in training data. It doesn't capture the general trend. In fact, overfitting happens a lot when tree is deep. That is, the tree has too many tests and divides the training data into tiny groups. Alright, the second problem of decision tree is in the boundaries. For example, the model may divide people into 3 age groups. However, this division doesn't have flexibility. People that are 18 years old may have similar behavior to people that are 25 years old, but the model divides them into different groups and tries to find the difference between them. Unfortunately, we don't know which boundaries are better unless we trial and error many times, and it's kind of impossible to iterate every possible combination. The last thing I want to talk about is tree pruning. Tree pruning is a technique used to avoid overfitting or solve the issue of overfitting. There are 2 types of tree pruning. The first one is pre-pruning, which means we prune the tree before it's constructed, and it's accomplished by setting thresholds or limitations. For example, we may set the threshold that each node must have more than 10 observations. So when a node has less than 10 data points, we stop dividing it into a smaller subsets. The second method is post-pruning, where we remove branches from a tree after it's fully grown. That is, we let the tree grow as deep as it can and abandon some branches. For instance, we may want to remove the branches that are not pure. To be more specific, if a node is whether a person is female or male, and the answer is like 45% female, 55% male, we might abandon this node because it doesn't have pure groups. What we want is 90% female and 10% male, so we can generalize the behavior of female. Alright, that's the introduction to decision tree. We will discuss details later. Thank you for watching my video and see you soon.